What's up, everybody? Welcome back if you're a subscriber. If you're new, welcome. Today, at the time of me making this video, it is Saturday night, and I don't think I ever done a video on Saturday night, so this is a first. Partly because I don't really have anything to do right now, so I figure I make myself busy. Otherwise, I'd be like sitting on the couch and just watching TV, and I do not like that feeling whatsoever. But anyways, so man, it's been a crazy 24 hours, right, guys? I mean, have you guys been in the crypto space in the last 24 hours, or you haven't been looking at crypto prices, which I'm sure a lot of you guys are looking at the crypto prices regularly in the last 24 hours, and that's why I bring you to this meme that I found this morning. Today's game, not check crypto prices for 24 hours. Were you able to do it successfully or not? Now, talking about this, I actually finally watched Squid Games, because I've been seeing a lot of these memes from these scenes in the TV series, and I had no idea where it was coming from. Now I actually know. I watched the whole Squid Game series on Netflix. All this people were talking about. I decided to cave in and check what this thing's all about, and I like it. I honestly like it. Squid Games is a highly recommended TV series. I recommend. Pretty disturbing in some spots as well, but it's a pretty great series. But now I actually know a lot of these memes are from that TV series, so I am caught up on pop culture. I feel very cultured now. But anyways, today's game, not check crypto prices for 24 hours. I know I've lost this game, so I mean, if this was an actual game in Squid Games, I would be dead by now. So Bitcoin, the price of Bitcoin. Bitcoin right now is trading at close to $49,000 at the time of me making this video. So yeah, we had a very, very nasty wick down, all the way down to like the $42,000 range, which was very scary. I remember last night when we were around $53,000, and I was watching like Cryptos R Us. In fact, he was so calm and keeping everyone calm in his video stream that I basically I actually fell asleep during the stream. And then I woke up, like, I think it probably was out for like maybe 20-30 minutes. And then I checked the prices. Bitcoin was at $53,000. Went to brush my teeth, came back, and the thing, in a span of like maybe 20 minutes or so, it went all the way down to 42,000. I even recorded a video on my phone just so I can, keep these as memories looking back. So yeah, I mean, this is what I was recording on my phone. Huge nasty candle down, 42,000. This was a huge shock for me to see this. It was around 12:30 at night or something around that time, my time. And oh my god, 42,000. See 42,000 bounce back up. It was scary. I mean, some exchanges recorded it as 40,000. So I mean, to go from 53,000 all the way to 42,000, low 40,000s, that's an over $10,000 candle right there. And that was something very, very, very scary. Kind of reminded me of the big crash in May. Right now, we had a nice little bounce. Obviously, you see the wick down here for around 42,000, 41,000-ish, around there. Now we're back up to 49,000. So where do we go from here right now? So Bitcoin right now is slightly below the 21-week moving average. It is also slightly below the bull market support band. So the 21-week moving average, I do want to see Bitcoin close. Now I'm on the weekly chart, meaning that every single candle that you see right here is represents 1 week of trading. So tomorrow, at around, I believe it's 7 p.m. Eastern time or 8 p.m. Eastern. I can't remember exactly. Okay, so yeah, so tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern time. So if you're in Eastern time zone like me, we will have a weekly close for the Bitcoin price. So I want to see this thing. I want to see this body of the candle. So this is the body of the candle right here. You don't count the wick, but you want the body of the candle tomorrow to be slightly above 50,700 and something. That's what we want. We want it to be slightly above the 21-week moving average. So we want that to happen in order to technically remain, I guess. I mean, some traders like to look at the 21-week moving average as the, whether we're in a bull market or a bear market. So I do want to see it push slightly above 50,000. That would be a good sign that the bulls are in control there. So keep an eye. Tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern time, we'll see the weekly close for this candle. Now, I'll be honest, guys, like seeing a huge wick like that from past experiences, whenever we have a huge wick to the downside like that, and then we have a huge bounce, it usually does tend to come back down there to test again. Now, in this case, maybe we're going to be super bullish. The bull's going to be in full control, and that we just, have like a V-shaped recovery. That's always a possibility. But just hearing from other TA guys that are more experienced than me, obviously like Benjamin Cohen, he doesn't see that. He sees more of a consolidation. I think Eric Crown from Elio Trades on Elio Trades' channel, when he does TA, he's also seeing like some sideway action until maybe January or February, until we have like a big a continuation of the bull run. So currently, I don't know. Like I said, from past experiences, I can see this thing whenever we have a quick wick down like that. I can see it maybe within the next month, or maybe even days or weeks or even months, that it can start to come back here and just have some weekly candles closing here just to test that level there, just like back here, back in May. Yeah, back in May, we had a big crash. We had a wick there. We came there to test it several times, as you can see, right? So, we could, obviously this took like about two to 3 months to play out. And who knows? Maybe we can have another, period of consolidation where it'll take like 2 to 3 months. Now, honestly, the past year or so, Bitcoin really hasn't really done anything. It's just been basically just trading in this $30,000 and $60,000 range. That's what it basically has done. So, but yeah, I know Elio. Now, moving forward, what can we expect with the price of Bitcoin? Are we still in a 4-year bull run cycle, the typical bull run cycle, like from 2013, 2017? Can we extrapolate it to maybe try and predict where this cycle will be in 2021, right? And so far, it looks like we're in a completely different cycle, where we were expecting bullishness in November and December. We did not get that in November, and so far we had a huge. So far in December, the first 3 days, we have a huge drop of, I don't know how many percent. I think it's like 20% or something like that. But so far December has not looked so good. We've obviously had a huge dump in the last 24 hours. Where do we go from here? So there's a lot of theories right now. We got the lengthening cycle. Elio, I remember Elio was mentioning this a few months ago, or even I think maybe last month or a couple months, where he thinks that instead of having, like 4-year bull cycles, right, we're having like maybe 3 to 6 months bull cycles. So 3 to 6 months we have like a bull cycle, and then it follows up with a 3-month kind of a bearish cycle where price is going down and just consolidating and not going up. It does kind of remind me of, I can see that, because I remember when I first got into crypto, it was shortly after the COVID crash. So it was early April 2020. I got in around here, and it was right here. And yeah, I managed to get in at the right time, basically. So I was very fortunate for that. I'm very grateful for that. But yeah, and then all of a sudden, after DeFi summer, we had a big crash in the stock market. This is where, what is this? So I got in, so April, that's the 4th month. So we had like 5 months of bullishness there. And then all of a sudden we had a crash in September. The stock market crashed. We had like 2 to 3 months, about 2 months or so of sideways consolidation. And then all of a sudden PayPal announced that they were going to get into crypto. And then we had this huge pump in November. So we can say, let's say starting November, we had a pump. And then, what it is, May-ish around there. So what is it? December, January, February, March, April, May. So that's like 6 months. 6 months of bullishness right there, followed by 2 to 3 months of bearish consolidation, right? And then now we're, let's say we start from here. This is what, July, mid-July, and we've right now July, August, September. I don't know. November didn't look very bullish, but it could be part of the cycle here. Yeah, I mean, Elio's saying that, you know what, instead of having a big 4-year cycle, we could just end up having these mini bull cycles followed by these mini bear cycles. And in the grand scheme of things, we're in the middle of a big super cycle. That is, I remember what Elio say. That's what he said. And you know what? I mean, just from my experience in crypto in the last, year and a half or so, yeah, I've seen periods of time where we had 5 months of bullishness, especially after the COVID crash, April all the way to September. Then we had a crash. Sorry, right here, April to September, we had a crash in the stock market that brought down Bitcoin. That consolidated for about 2 months or so, and then we had an uptrend for like 5 to 6 months. Then we had a huge crash here. We had a consolidation for two and a half months there, and now we're on month August, September, October, November, December. So we're like month 4, 5-ish around there. Who knows? We might have another month of bullishness. I don't know. I mean, it's so hard to predict, guys. It's very hard to predict what's going on. We're basically entering unknown territory when it comes to the Bitcoin price and the bull run. Typical bull runs of the past. We can't compare the typical bull runs of the past to what we are seeing now. And also, there's one video that I was driving in my car earlier this morning. I just put on like crypto zombie video, and I want to bring you guys attention to what he said, and I totally agree with what he's saying here.
We've been talking about a Bitcoin super cycle, a Bitcoin lengthening cycle, whatever you want to call it, okay? But what I am trying to say is that I'm not 100% convinced that the 4-year cycle is still really applicable for Bitcoin. We've gone over this multiple times about the Bitcoin halving and why the Bitcoin halving is not as significant as it used to be, right? In the beginning, we went from a block reward of 50 Bitcoin to 25 Bitcoin. That was pretty significant. 25, to 12 and a half, that was relatively significant, down to 6.125. But really moving forward, there's not as much difference in the inflation rate for Bitcoin as far as the halving is concerned. The fact that we have already almost 19 million out of the 21 million Bitcoin totally out in circulation, right? Bitcoin is already very scarce, okay? So there is that investor interest.
So yeah, I was playing this video in my car when I was driving earlier this morning, and when Crypto Zombie said that, I totally agreed with what he said. It makes sense that it's very, the Bitcoin halving effect has not, it's diminishing. So when we went from 50 Bitcoin to 25 Bitcoin, that was a huge drop, right? And then from 25 to 12 and a half, okay, that's still quite a big jump down. And then from 12 and a half to 6.25, now it's starting to get a little bit less and less in terms of the gap, right? In terms of the difference. And then, yeah, I mean, moving forward, these Bitcoin halvings is not going to be that much of a difference. And like he said, 19 million coins are already in circulation. And a lot of that, some of these Bitcoins are lost, right? Some people got into Bitcoin super early. It wasn't doing anything for them at that time. They don't have their private keys anymore, so that Bitcoin is not accessible anymore. So yeah, there's a lot of Bitcoin that's already in circulation, and I think I was reading like the last Bitcoin to be mined is going to be in the year 2140. 2140. A lot of us that are watching this video right now is not going to be around at that time, right? 2140. That's like what? That's like 119 years or something, right? That's crazy. So yeah, I totally agree with Bitcoin. What Crypto Zombie is saying is that the Bitcoin halving, the effect on it in terms of the inflation of Bitcoin has just become less and less, and therefore the Bitcoin 4-year cycle is just not going to play. It's just not going to be that big of a deal anymore. That stuff, the 4-year cycle could be gone. This is it. The 4-year cycle is broken. So that is, I mean, at this point, yes, I do see that we're going to have periods of time where we have like maybe a few months of bullishness, a few months of bearishness, followed by a few months of bullishness. But it's just going to be a constant, like just back and forth, but we're in a general uptrend. And are we in the middle of a super cycle? Quite possibly. I mean, we won't know. Time will tell us whether we're in a super cycle or not. And yeah, we're basically entering unknown territory at this point, guys. Ethereum is doing super well right now. I am actually very impressed with Ethereum. Ethereum is actually having somewhat of a V-shaped recovery. I mean, in the last 24 hours, had a huge dump. Look at this. Boom. Basically back to where it was before 24 hours ago. Only down 1% in the last 24 hours. So Ethereum has definitely come back. Look at that. ETH is killing it right now in terms of its Bitcoin value. It's not going down. I mean, right now it's gaining momentum on Bitcoin. Another coin that's doing super well is Luna. Luna is the darling right now. It's at an all-time high. It hit an all-time high earlier today. 2 hours ago, it hit $99 Canadian. Yeah, in a sea of red. Luna. Is this the dump right here? This was the dump. Yeah, this was the dump last night. V-shaped recovery, and now it's even higher than it was 24 hours ago. Crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Now, Luna, I'm very fortunate to get into Luna. I remember, yeah, I was obviously Crypto Banter. Rand's always talking about Luna, and I got into Luna around, I think, $20 Canadian. Let me see. Yeah, $20 Canadian. I remember getting to Luna around $20 Canadian. And then we had a huge crash in May. It went all the way down to like $6-7. Managed to grab some at $6-7. And you know what? That was a great move because right now, I mean, that's more than a 10x. A 13x. 13x. So about like, yeah. I mean, if you got into Luna down here around $6-7 Canadian, now you're doing a 13. You've basically done a 13x. So that is crazy. That is crazy. Anyways, guys, I'll leave you with this thought. Obviously, like I said in my last video, nobody knows where this Bitcoin price is going, all right? And unfortunately, at this moment, a lot of the crypto market is tied into the price of Bitcoin. Now, Bitcoin is also kind of at the mercy of the stock market, and yeah, it's basically at the mercy of the stock market. So if the stock market, like the NASDAQ, the S&P, the Dow Jones is doing crap, then Bitcoin, unfortunately, is not going to do very well. And that's going to take down the rest of the crypto markets. Now, that also means NFTs. You know, remember, NFTs usually do pretty well when things are trading sideways, right? I mean, if you look at the floor price of some NFTs, I'm only looking at some of the NFTs that I have currently. Like Rumble Kongs. I know Rumble Kongs is not doing too bad. 1.43 E, so it's still maintaining its value there. Also, with the side note with Rumble Kongs, NBA star Paul George, Los Angeles Clippers, purchased a Rumble Kong and posted on his Twitter profile page. I don't know if you guys follow basketball much, but I'm not a big Paul George fan. But he purchased a Rumble Kong just before his. I think the Clippers had a game with the Lakers yesterday, and he actually purchased a Kong right before the game. But he took the night off, so he didn't play in the game. So instead of so I guess that's what he does during his off time is just scour OpenSea and just buy some Rumble Kongs. I think they were still like a 50 ETH floor, right? Yeah, 52 ETH floor for Bored Apes. That's insane. Cool Cats. Almost 8 ETH. So, I mean, yeah. Is this the resurgence of the NFTs? I don't know. I mean, if coins were just going to consolidate, trade sideways for the next little bit, yeah, I can definitely see NFTs making a comeback. So, that's why I did not sell a lot of my NFTs. I decided to hold on to them because some of them I did get into it super early. And it's like, hey, doesn't matter if it drops down 50, 60%. I'm still up. I don't mind holding on to them because these things are super volatile. And in case, it also acts as a hedge in case of the rest of the crypto markets, like the fungible coins are not doing very well. Then that's usually the prime environment for these NFTs to start moving up. So, yeah. Anyways, guys, I think I'll leave it at that. Quick summary is nobody knows where this market is going. We could trade sideways from here. NFTs can make a boom if the market does trade sideways for the next month or so. And yeah, during times like this, guys, where there's some uncertainty, obviously there's a lot of fear. We can play this one of two ways. You know, one, you can just, you know, take your mind off of things, go do other things, occupy your mind with other things, you know, work out, maybe read a book if you're into that, play video games, you know, hey, play to earn. You can play some video games, right? To earn some crypto. Or the other approach is you can take more of an active approach where, you know, you can research some, maybe you can actually have the time to research that altcoin that you aped into last week that you didn't do any research. Maybe do some research on that. You've done your research now and you say, hey, this thing is crap. I'm going to get rid of it. Yep, something like that. So yeah, you can take a more a passive approach here, doing other things to take your mind off of it to make yourself feel better. Again, mental health is very important, guys. And the other thing is a more active approach. If you want to maybe look into doing airdrops, I have some airdrop videos in my channel that you can, you know, if you're new to the channel, haven't looked at some of my airdrop videos, look into that. Make yourself eligible for some of these airdrops that could come down the next month or so. Like ZK Sync. I mean, a lot of people are talking about ZK Sync, Hot Protocol. I mean, those are some protocols that I think are going to do airdrops. But yeah, guys, I think that I'll leave it at that, guys. Hopefully you guys are having a good weekend. Don't be too down. I mean, if right now you're feeling down, it's normal. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, I'm not going to invalidate your feelings there. But long term, basically, if you're in this game for the short term, you're probably going to not do as well. So that's why just broaden your time horizon. Have like a 3, 4, 5-year plan. And I guarantee you, you'll do well in this space, guys. So anyways, I'll leave it at that. If you like the content, like the video. If you're not a subscriber, consider subscribing. And I'll see you guys next time.